Hmm. We're gonna pull up the chat for the YouTube live stream. Since I normally always stream on Kick, that's something new. Wait a second. Um, the chat for the YouTube live. I think you have to do it like this. Now do you see? Wait, why don't you? Okay, now you see the topology. That's good. That's good. All right. I think we are good to go. So let's start with the first prelim. I hope the sound is good. Let me just check it real quick. Sound is working. Okay. Just making sure that YouTube is not messing anything up. Let's start with the first prelim. This is a little bit of a pee break in my opinion, but Chosen Edwards oftentimes delivers interesting fights, to be honest. But they are both so like inconsistent that yeah, it's definitely not a fight that I would bet money on. But let's look at it. Won by submission, lost against Ani Perez with the whole beef thing that they had. Yeah, she has not. Her striking isn't bad, but she's just there's nowhere where Chosen Evers is really like elite. But similar to Chandler, Chandler is more of a grappler if I remember that right. Um, but I have to say those are both not women that are like on my radar that like actively follow or something. But they're both more or less just win-loss girls, like inconsistent as Fook. But I just go with Edwards because Edwards is a younger girl. She's fought a tougher competition in the UFC's more active. Trains out of a great gym with Kings MMA. Has the longer reach. Like most things that you can consider for the fight are leaning towards Jocelyn. So I go with Edwards by decision. Then we have Timi Guamba versus Roberto Romero. This will be an interesting fight. I think there will be some fireworks there with the small 150. Wait, where's this fight at? Featherweight. Okay, so Roberto Romero is coming back down from light to featherweight. Okay, lost against Onama by decision. That was his UFC debut coming from Combat Global. That's a good organization. Some win losses. Yeah, like I mean, the competition that he faced there is definitely not the best. But at least he got a decision against Onama. Onama is a great fighter. Lucas Almeida decision loss. Bolachi Oki decision split. Yeah, they're both without a win in the UFC yet. One on Contender did not get signed, then got okay, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I think Romero will get this fight done. I do believe that it could go both ways. The odds also suggest that, but my gut feeling just tells me Romero gets it done by. You know what? I go with decision because they are both without a win in the UFC yet, so they probably both won't risk that much because they don't want to lose the fight. That's just what I think. And here, this one will hurt because I love Poliana. Such a cutie. Such a nice person as well when you meet her. But yeah, her streak does really not look great. And even though she's fighting good girls like Tabata Ricci, Lucindo, Jillian Robertson, those are all tough matchups. But they just keep giving her good grapplers and like Jacqueline Amorim is. And those are her biggest problem, the good grapplers, because her takedown defense and her ground game is just not as slick as it should be. And Shaka Morim, I mean, if you submit Vanessa Demopoulos with an armbar, you are a problem. I mean, Demopoulos is a great grappler, and she's just so good on the ground. Whenever she gets a fight to the ground, it's just over. And this is a tailor-made matchup for Amorim. I really do not see any scenario where Poliana Viana wins that fight. Even though I do never bet on women's fights, because I just learned that this is not a smart thing to do. Women's fights and heavyweight fights are two things that you should not bet on. But if I would give anyone betting advice for the card, I'll be like, bet on this fight. And I do think she gets it done by submission in, you know what, round number 1. Then we have a very interesting fight. I really like that fight. Cameron Simon against Malcolm Wellmaker. Both young, up-and-coming prospects. Of course, Wellmaker's 30, but that's still, well, it's not young, but it's also not old. It's like coming into his prime, right? And he's still a prospect. He's 8-0. So let's look at his record. Well, he didn't fight the best competition here. Yeah, only in the Contender Series, but that was a great knockout. I remember that one last year. And I mean, Cameron Simon has a lot of UFC experience already. He fought a lot of tough matchups as well, as you see in his last 2 fights. Christian Rodriguez, C-Rod, who's on a roll, and, well, he just lost, but Peyton Talbot as well. 2 really, really great fighters that he lost to. Otherwise, he didn't lose at all ever in his career. He's a really, really talented fighter out of South Africa. And he's 24 years old. He gets better every single time he goes out there. And he had 1 year now to recover from that loss. That was a bad loss against Peyton Talbot. He got hurt a couple of times in that fight and stuff like that. Even though it's a tough fight to pick, I would not put money on that one. That's one of the fights that I would like to enjoy, and just whoever wins, wins. But since I have to pick, I think, even though Wellmaker is older, significantly older, 6 years older, Simon has just more experience at that level. His last, I think, 6 fights, or I don't know how many fights he has in UFC now, but at least 5 fights, as you see, have been against the best of the best, or against elite competition, whilst Wellmaker has been fighting cans mostly, right? Up until his Contender fight. And you could really see Simon, with his experience in the UFC, getting a decision. So I go with Cameron Simon by decision. But we'll see how his chin recovers, but he's 24 years old. It should be good. Then Damon Blackshear against Alateng Haley. This is a pretty easy fight to predict, but let's look at it. Alateng Haley won against Clayson Rodriguez, lost against Chris Gutierrez, Jaden Hellinger. He's fought some good fights. Not bad opponents, but also not world beaters. On the other side, Damon Blackshear with the Twister submission. I don't know where it is. Somewhere here. Twister submission. I remember that very well. Then he went on a 2-fight losing streak, but against really good guys. One against Cody Stamann and against Cody Gibson again by Kimura. He's really slick on the ground. And I do believe this is where he will win that fight. I do believe he has a big advantage on the ground against Alateng Haley. Even though he trains at a great gym, Fight Red MMA in Arizona, I do believe that, especially with the reach and height advantage, with the long limbs, no Diddy, he will be able to submit him and make him tap in round number 2. Then Chris Gutierrez, we just talked about him, won against Alateng Haley. The win should be somewhere here. Yes, here it is. Famous for his leg kicks, right? El Guapo. It's kind of interesting because El Guapo means like the pretty one, and Sexy Mexi. Like, it's kind of interesting how those nicknames collide, right? John Castañeda, also a name that we know, lost against Daniel Marcos, no shame in that. Kyung Ho Kang, decision win. Yeah, I didn't fight the best names yet. Miles Jones, that's a good win, especially by submission. But Chris Gutierrez, he was on a crazy streak, I think, up until here, yeah. And then he lost to Pedro Muniz by decision, and since then has been win-loss, win-loss. And he's very good, but at the same time, I feel like something changed when he lost that fight. I don't know, he's not that guy anymore, I feel like, that he used to be, even though his leg kicks are still very dangerous. And this is a very winnable fight for him because in Chon Castañeda he has a significant decrease. If you look at his last opponent, well, significant decrease is over exaggerated, but he definitely fought tougher opponents before. He definitely has the experience edge, and I do believe, even though of course he has more fights, but the experience edge in the top level of the UFC, I do believe that Chris Gutierrez will get it done. Chop him up with the leg kicks, and you know what? I think in the third round he will get a finish, probably by leg kicks, by just making him unable to walk. Then we have, is that the last one on the prelims? No. Okay, second last one on the prelims. Ivan Elder against Gosh Young. Gosh Young is not a name that rings a bell to me. Every current, yeah, that's his UFC debut. Where is he coming from? FNC, okay. Fought on a contender, lost. Damn, he was fighting cans. 2-7, 5-5, 6-4. I mean, I don't see too many upsides for him in that fight. 24 years young though. Where are they fighting at? Lightweight. So Evan Elder comes down from his welterweight, his last welterweight fight. Fights out of Killcliff FC, phenomenal gym. Darius Flowers, submission win. Gennaro Valdez, Nazim Sadikhov, no shame in that. Yeah, I do believe Evan Elder will get this done. Not decisively, because those young bucks, you never know. Even though they fought cans, they could still have the ability to knock the... Evan Elder's not old. I wanted to say the older guys, but Evan Elder just still coming to his prime. This is a pretty clear fight to me. I think Evan Elder will just show the difference between a UFC veteran and a newcomer. Matt Schnell against Jimmy Flick. This is also a fight that I would not bet on, because if I would bet on, I would definitely bet on Jimmy Flick, just because Matt Schnell is so inconsistent, bro. He's winning the fight every time, and then he just gets clipped, and that's it. I mean, the amount of brain damage he's sustained already in his UFC career is bananas. Nate Menace, decision loss. Malcolm Gordon, submission win. Alessandro Costa, KO loss. That's not a good record, man. Cody Durden, that's a good win. Lost against Cody Durden with submission. Steve Ursa, KO. Mateus Nicola. He's fighting good guys, but still. It's just... it's a tough one. It's a tough one to predict as well. Because Matt Schnell definitely fought a much tougher competition. But at the same time, both guys are so inconsistent. You can't really rely on any of them. That's a tough one to predict, to be honest. That's a really tough one. Because something tells me Matt Schnell, but then something as well tells me Jimmy Flick. Just because Matt Schnell is... he also has been KO a couple of times, though. You know what? I go with Jimmy Flick. Fuck it. I think Jimmy Flick catches him. I think Matt Schnell will, as always, be winning the fight, but will get catched again. I don't think his chin has recovered yet. I think his chin is just messed up. Then the main card starts. Ikram Aliskerov against Andre Moniz. I mean, this is a no-brainer. Andre Moniz at one stage was actually a guy that I saw potential in when he was submitting everyone with his freaking armbars and kimuras. But then, yeah, he lost to Brandon Allen, Paul Craig, two grapplers. I mean, Paul Craig TKO'd him, which is crazy. He can win fights. He's a solid fighter, but he's not on that level. He's not that elite top 10 guy. Even though I think at one stage he was even in the top 10. But yeah, I do think this will be a pretty decisive win for Moniz. I do think, for Aliskerov, I do think he will knock him out. And I do think it will be in round 1. Especially after the Whitaker loss. He'll probably come in pretty pissed off because there was a quick, crazy knockout loss. He took the fight on short notice, even though they had a training camp already. But he will be looking for revenge, and no better guy to get revenge on than Andre Moniz, who really does not have the best striking defense. So I do believe this was a pretty easy one. You see with the betting odds as well. Didn't even look at them. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, there's no value on Moniz in that fight. But hey, if you're a betting man, why not put a couple of bucks at plus 450? Why not? If that's money you don't need. This is a very interesting fight, in my opinion. Nicholas Dalby against Randy Root Boy Brown. Nicholas Dalby is the type of guy that I don't feel like he's that good, and he should not be at that level anymore. At 40 years old, at 170, you should be. I mean, you can take Wonderboy as an example as well, even though Wonderboy, yeah, just at 40 years old, you normally should not be able to hang anymore with the 30-year-old guys in the division. But somehow he always pulls it off to still be elite in there, even when he loses, like against Serena Fakhardinov. He gave him a run for his money. And Rinat is a freaking beast. He was running through everyone, and then Dalby came. And I don't like him at all. I'm really not a fan of him at all. I dislike him. I'm a hater of him, in a way. But I can't deny that he's a freaking dog. He will always be in the fight. You have to put his lights out in order to get him away from there. I mean, he will not give up on himself. And look at those wins. I mean, Warley Alves, of course, also older guy. Muslim Salikhov, also older guy. But you see what Muslim Salikhov is still doing in the UFC. Like, he's a beast. Gabriel Bonfim, he gave him his first ever loss. I remember that fight like it was yesterday. That was so crazy. No one saw that coming. But on the other side, Rupert Brown is also such a talented mixed martial artist. His striking is absolutely beautiful. Very long limbs, no diddy. You see with the reach advantage here. He's so good as well. So this will be a very interesting fight that I can't wait to watch. If I have to make a pick, it's probably... I mean, at the end of the day, we're all biased in our picks. Whatever you try to tell me, if you know the fighters very well, you will be biased. And since it's such a close fight, I will go with Randy Rootboy Brown. I do think with the long reach, you will keep Dalby at distance. I do think he will fight smart and win a rather close but fun decision. I do think it will be a fun fight, and both will have their moments. Then we come to another banger. Michel Pereira against Abus Magomedov. Abus came in with that front kick against, what is his name again? Dustin Stoltzfus. Everyone thought like, oh my god, who's that guy? I know him since quite a long time because he's in the German MMA, was in the German MMA scene. But I never really thought he was that good. Then Strickland made him look really bad. Lost against Caio Borralho in a decision. He just had problems with the gas tank in those fights. Then Warley Alves, that's an okay win, but nothing to be too proud of. Bruno Ferreira's submission win, that was a good fight. He looked really good in that fight. I gotta say that. But in this fight, I'm not really sure because he has a powerhouse in front of him that will not stop coming for his face. I mean, he's a little bit unreliable, especially with the weight cuts and all of that, but since he's fighting at 185, that got out of the way, that got much better. And he's just a beast. I mean, yeah, he lost to Anthony Hernandez also because of the gas tank, but Fluffy is just a freaking freak of nature that will just Marab style come at you forever. So you can't really take that as an example. I do believe the gas tank is the weakest thing of both of them. Both guys have problems with their gas tank, so I don't think we will see a decision. But I do think that Michel Pereira is just a more experienced fighter, the more explosive one. Even though Abus has, I was pretty sure he has a reach advantage, quite a significant reach advantage, and knows how to use it very well as well with his front kicks and all of that. But Michel Pereira, I don't know. I think he will be a little bit too explosive and too aggressive for Abus, and because of that, I go with Michel Pereira by KO in late round 2, because I do think they will both be a little bit tired already in round 2, and Michel Pereira will maybe be a little bit fresher guy, whatever, but they will both be a little bit tired, and when you're tired, your chin is affected by that. And I do think Pereira will get him out of there, maybe with a crazy spinning hook kick or something like that. I will not be surprised if that happens. Then we have the weight mister, Giga Chikadze, who unfortunately missed weight against David Onama. David Onama, what's up? I wanted to call you by your Twitch name, but I was forgetting your Twitch name for a second. Where the Twitch stream's at? They will come back. I just thought I would just do a quick little prediction And I was like, you know what? Why not do that on YouTube since it's just a prediction? I will not watch any videos or something. So yeah, Bernie Brown is really good, really underrated. What would happen if you would punch me in the stomach unflexed? That's an interesting question, Marcus. Unflexed. Well, if I go 100% without a boxing glove, depends on if I hit you in the middle of the stomach. It will definitely hurt you. Maybe you would puke. Maybe you would just have pain. I don't know. If I would hit you in the liver, which is not an easy thing to do, but if I would hit you in the liver, you would definitely go down. But that's a hard question to answer. I don't know how heavy you are, how tough you are, but it will definitely hurt. I can guarantee you that. Even if you flexed, it will hurt. But if you don't flex, it will hurt even more. And if you don't see it coming, if you're not paying attention and just or have your eyes closed or something, it will hurt even more. Would I puke? I hope not, but it's possible. I don't know. I cannot give you that scenario. It's like if you would ask me what would happen if you would slap me with all force. Like I don't know if you would get knocked out, if you would just have a pain, if you would. I have no idea what would happen because it hasn't happened between me and you. You know what I mean? But it would definitely not be nice, and I do not plan on doing that. So back to the fight. Giyoshi cuts David Nama is a really fun fight in my opinion because both guys are elite but somehow underrated. Especially Onama, I think, is really underrated. He was one of my favorite fights of all time was David Onama against Nate Landwehr. If you have never seen that fight, please do yourself a favor. Go search that fight up if you have UFC Fight Pass. Maybe it's even on YouTube. That was one of the greatest fights I've ever watched. Just pure chaos and craziness. David Onama does not shy away from a firefight. He's good on the ground, great striker, very tough, resilient, and still just 30 years old, whilst Giga is 36, which could be a problem in that fight in my opinion, but Giga is very fast, very slick on the feet, great striking, his famous Giga kick, which is basically just a kick to the liver, but he kind of made it famous as his own kick, right? KO'd Cub Swanson with that very kick. Edson Barboza KO win. Calvin Kattar, that was a tough decision loss. He got beat the crap out of him in that fight. Came back against Alex Caceres. Lost again against Arnold Allen. What's the name on Roberto Romero decision? I mean, Giga has definitely fought a tougher competition, that's for sure. Giga definitely fought a tougher competition. This will be a step up for Onama. But I just don't like that number. He missed weight as well, which can be an advantage in certain situations. But I just don't like that number. I'm always skeptical with featherweights when they, or the lower weight divisions when they turn to a certain age over 35. And Onama 30, he's just coming to his physical prime right now. So even though it's a tough pick, because you would think Giga is just a more experienced, more skilled guy, I will go with Onama by decision. How would you throw it? How would I throw a body shot? I can show you that. That's not a problem. I mean, depends on what you would want, but normally when someone asks for a body shot, you normally... Where's my camera? Because, of course, you could just jab or cross, but that would not be as hard. But if you really want to give a nice little body shot, a nice slick little body shot, go sideways. I like to punch with my left hand, even though I'm right-handed. I have probably more power in the right hand, but I just like to body shot with my left hand. So, bam. Then from the bottom up. Like that, you can hit the liver if you want to, but I would probably not try to do that. I'll probably just try to punch you in the midsection of your belly, because there nothing will happen. I will not hit an organ or something. HS. Is that HS7? Hello, Ochi shirt. That's really an Ochi shirt. That's really an Ochi shirt. Free shot unflexed. I don't know why you would do that. Why you would do it unflexed? Because it will hurt even if you flex. But I mean, if you would ask me, I would probably do it. Like, I mean. Yeah, I got Onama by decision. Then, in the co-main event, Anthony on paper Smith against Mingyang Zhang. I I know I watched Ming Yang fight, but I do not have any recollective memory of his fights. I know they all. I have mine right here. That's amazing, bro. That's really cool that you still have that shit. It's been a long time, a long journey, brother. But yeah, I know he always finishes his fights early, like on a 12-5 winning streak or something. Always first round finishes. You never seen a second round. I think he saw a second round once, and there he lost or something like that. Some crazy numbers like that. But I don't remember any sequences that I could tell you how skilled he is. I mean, that's already something that I don't like. A 6-9 guy, 1-3, 7-2. Okay, road to UFC, 15-5. Ozzy Diaz. Those are not. That's a fight that I just would rather just not predict, because on paper, Anthony Smith should win that fight because he fought the best of the best for the last 10 years now. Whilst Ming Yang Shang just 3 years ago fought a guy that's 1-3. You know what I mean? And he has so much more experience. He should be able to win that fight. But at the same time, I will not be surprised if he will knock him out, because with Anthony Smith, I just never feel like he's really in that game anymore. I never feel like, especially with this being his retirement fight and me watching the interviews of him, pre-fight interviews and stuff like that, he does not seem like he even cares about that fight. Like, I don't feel like he's really training that hard. I had that feeling in his last couple of fights that he's a guy, when he's not fighting, when he's not in training camp, he's not training. He's not training. And he always looks like he never trained a day in his life when he shows up to weigh-ins. So, somehow I want to go with Anthony Smith by decision. This is a tough one. This is really a tough one. Because Ozzy Diaz, I mean, he looked horrible in that fight. I remember that. Branson Ribeiro. It's not a bad win. What does the chat think? What do you think, guys? Who do we pick? Because I am not sure. If I would be a betting man, if I would bet, I would probably put some money on Anthony Smith just because of the odds. What about a kick or knee? How would you want that? Well, I think to the body, a kick would actually be less of a problem than a punch. With a punch, you can penetrate the gut more than with a kick. But a knee would be the worst, bro. Knee would not be nice, trust me. If I could knee you in the stomach, that would not be nice. How was Izzy, by the way? He was very cool. Izzy was a very, very cool guy. Very chill. Just complete, chill, nice, normal guy. Just exactly how you want your idols, even though it's not an idol of me, but how you want your favorite fighters to be. Just a chill, down-to-earth guy. Felt like you were just chilling with a normal guy. No one, not a special person. So that was really cool. What was the chat think? Who do we go with? Smith or Min Yang Shang? Because either Smith, I could see Smith even like against Vito Petrino submitting him. I mean, can we look at Ming Yang Shang? I want to look at his record, the Mountain Tiger. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. And yeah, it was really cool as well meeting Izzy, because that came so unexpected. Because Izzy was not supposed to be there. He just randomly came there. So that was really, really cool to see him. Especially since I met him in the new gym where no one was there. Only me, Schmitty, Sugar Sean O'Malley, Tim Welch, the brother of Izzy, David, his security, and the camera guy. 2 camera guys of Sugar were there. No one else. It was really cool. It was not like a big, you know what I mean? Everyone's trying to take a picture. Everyone's there. We had time. We were chilling. You know what I mean? That was cool. Lost by guillotine. Got knocked out. All round one. This is crazy. Rear naked choke. punch. I mean, he got rear naked choked by a guy that's 2-0. That's crazy. How long ago was that? 2019. Well, that's quite some time ago. I just don't know how good he is. I cannot tell you. I mean, he has a rear naked choke win as well. Problem is just against a guy that's 8-6. So what the fuck is that? I really have no idea how good he really is if he doesn't get the early knockout. But he seems to always get that early knockout. With Anthony Smith, you just never know because he has all the. I mean, he's 36, not like 42 or something. You know what? Fuck it. I like risky picks. I go with Anthony Smith. Now the question is, will we go with submission or decision? You know what? Submission. Last fight, maybe he's motivated. Round 2, he's tired, swinging for the fences. Submission round 2. Fuck it. Fuck it, guys. We're going with Smith. And this one, if you know me, you probably know who I'm going to pick. I'm not going to pick this little. I'm on YouTube, so I probably can't say most of the swear words I would like to say. But I don't like this guy at all, as you probably know. I do think he's a great fighter, though. He likes to run a lot, which is what I don't like and don't respect at all. Whenever Ian Gary faces a good striker, you can look at his record. Whenever he faces an elite striker, he runs. Against MVP, he ran. He was running the whole fight. And of course, trying to take it to the ground because MVP has no grappling. And against Geoff Neal, he was running the whole fight. I do think he is the better grappler than Carlos Prates. I do think he will try to take the fight to the ground. I do think he can win the fight by taking Prates to the ground and controlling him there, maybe even submitting him. He has a pretty good back take. His rear naked choke is pretty good, even though he never gets it, but his attempts are pretty good. And I do think it will be an amazing fight. You're right, Nico. I agree. But I do hope and also believe in a way, but it's more hope than belief that Carlos Prates will knock out Ian Gary and definitely submit him in round number 2 because the fighting nerds is just, you cannot go against them. I mean, those mother effers have not lost a fight ever in the UFC. None of them from the main core of the fighting nerds. How can you go against them? How? I mean, we just saw with Bryce Mitchell and Sean Silva. I thought Bryce Mitchell will tap Sean Silva out without a problem if he gets it to the ground. What happened? Sean Silva tapped out Bryce Mitchell. Those guys are freaks. Those guys are freaks. So it would be stupid to go against Carlos. Really, even though Machado has a clear path to victory, in my opinion, I do believe he'll just try to run again like he always does, and Carlos will catch him. I have a feeling that Carlos will catch him. And I hope that as well, obviously. And yeah, this is my official prediction. Carlos Prates by KO round 2. These are my picks. If you have not seen them yet, I think you can do it like that, right? And then, yeah, oh shit. Those are my picks. Evers, Romero, Amorim, Simon, Blackshear, Gutierrez, Elder, Flick, Aliskerov, Brown, Pereira, Onama, Smith, and Prates. How do Americans call him? Prates? Prates? That's actually a cool pronunciation of the name, Prates. Carlos Prates. That sounds like a real freaking American. Carlos Prates, fighting out of Mississippi. No, but those are my official. A lot of finishes, actually. I don't know if that's gonna come to fruition, but I do hope so. I mean, the first fight is definitely a fight that you can miss out without a problem. But the other ones, most of them are pretty fun, especially the main card. It's a really fun main card. None of those main cards fights are fights that I would want to miss at all. Those will be really fun fights in the main card. So those are my official predictions, you guys. And I think the ceremonial weigh-in started. Unfortunately, with the way YouTube works, as far as I'm concerned, I cannot do a watch along for the ceremonial weigh-ins because of the audio copyrights and stuff like that. I don't want to risk my YouTube channel at all. So I'll probably call the day right here, and I'll probably just enjoy the ceremony weigh-ins. Check out my Miami vlog. It's out right now from UFC 314 when I went to Miami. Check out the vlog. It's a very fun vlog in my opinion. So check it out, you guys. Watch it, enjoy it, like it, comment your opinion down below. Whatever it is, every comment is good. Every like helps. Subscribe to the channel, you guys. And stay tuned for Arizona vlog as well. This will be a movie as well. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. All right? Bye-bye, guys. Buy the merch as well. Don't forget, bloodshop.net, www.bloodshop.net. Link is in all the bios, whatever of the videos. Check it out. Worldwide free shipping with the code free. Worldwide free shipping with the code free. Bloodshop.net. Stay bloody, you guys. Worldwide free shipping with the code free. Bloodshop.net. Stay bloody, you guys. Worldwide free shipping with the code free. Bloodshop.net. Stay bloody, you guys.